Can you hear that? The sound of the Forest of Dean. It's a magical place. It's a lot like a fairy tale, and I can't wait to find out what we're going to discover.
Nestled into the western side of Gloucestershire, the Forest of Dean is a timeless landscape of woodlands, rivers, hills and valleys. It's where David and Becky Midwinter moved after their 2 kids left home.
Hi, buddy. Hello. Say hi. Ah, yeah. Guys, you've got a lovely spot here. Can you tell me how long you've been here?
So we've lived in the city all our lives, and then 4 years ago decided to have a change.
Your countryside escape.
Yeah,
It's a really beautiful piece of land. I've noticed your woodland, and you've got the open meadow as well.
Yeah.
Did you buy this land with a B&B space in mind?
No, not at all.
No.
It was only when we've had parties here and people have come and stayed, they've said, oh, it's like being on holiday. And we were like, good shout.
Suddenly
yeah.
made sense.
Yeah, it did.
In the city, there's a constant drone of cars and planes, the motorway not far away. And out here, it's just total quiet and it's just peaceful.
Being around trees and the land is actually makes you feel really de-stressed. It's wonderful.
David and Becky bought an old 1840s cottage in need of renovation. It came with an acre of land, the bottom of which
It's a bit like coming into a secret garden.
is the perfect spot for a unique retreat.
It's a yurt. It's a lovely little yurt.
We bought it from a chap in Bath. He made it with his girlfriend and they lived in it for a year, you know, to try out yurt living.
Which is a nice little yurt. I love the decoration around the front, which is already on a platform. Oh, you've got a fire pit.
Well, it's the start of a fire pit, yeah.
I really noticed this cut-off tree, wondering whether we could do something with that.
Yeah, I
Makes me
hope
wanna-
so,
makes
because
me
it's
wanna
a bit
put
of
a-
an eyesore just stuck there.
A tea platform.
Yeah.
I want to have a look inside. Can I
Yeah,
go do
of
that?
course, go
Can I take
ahead.
my hat off? Wow. I love the way the hub makes a skylight up at the top, sheds the light around the room. What strikes me straight away is that some of the furniture is really out of kilter for the whole feeling of the yurt. You've got this lovely space, and then we've got a bed that looks like it could have come from anywhere.
It did. It was £20 in the local upcycling shop.
Yeah, and it's just not got the wow factor of the rest of the room. I really like this little burner. Nice little design with a hot plate.
We cook our chilli on that.
Nice. The upcycling dresser over there is nice, but I want to see some colour and I want to see some materials and some rugs on the floor, you know, a bed with a statement. So I think we should go and have a chat about how to make this a really wow space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Becky and David have never run a B&B before, and they want the yurt to be their step onto the ladder.
So, guys, it's a really beautiful little yurt, and I love your spot. I was just wondering, actually, if you'd had anyone to stay in it.
My niece and her boyfriend agreed to come to stay in it just to give us some feedback and kind of test drive it. They said it needed some kind of outdoor space, some kind of cooking facility, kitchen area, so that they could be really self-contained.
So, inside, what kind of feel would you like to achieve?
I think that's the thing. We need the inspiration. We want it to have a natural feel. You know, we're set in the woodlands, so we want that whole woodland vibe
Yeah,
to it.
natural materials, definitely.
Yeah.
So, one last thing. Are you attached to that chair?
Not at all. I'm not even sure it got there.
Great, OK, so we can get rid of it.
Definitely.
The hideaway at the end of the garden has the privacy it needs to be a perfect retreat. But Simon needs to give the yurt an identity and some character.
It's a great little structure. The yurt itself is brilliant, but it really lacks the wow factor for a B&B space. And the main driver for me is the interior. I think we need a bed that creates a statement, and we need to bring colour and materials inside. They've asked for the indoor-outdoor experience, and I think a field kitchen is what we need. I think if we make a really nice fire pit, possibly even carve chairs out of the stumps so they've got a sitting area in the sun, and then we build a field kitchen around the other side of the yurt, so they've got the space to cook and clean and wash up, and I think we've got it.
As work begins to transform Becky and David's yurt, Simon's bringing in his team. Interior designer Zoe Hewitt, whose keen eye can transform the drabbest of spaces. And top carpenter Ian Sang, who's great at designing furniture for both inside and out.
Okay, so come on in. It's a really nice handmade yurt, but the inside is not very inspiring at all, and it doesn't give the space the wow factor it deserves. There's very little colour in here as well. It's a neutral space. We've got brown and we've got brown. In fact, the only piece of colour in here at the moment is that sofa, which is really incongruous, and I don't know whether that's going to stay. I would hope not, possibly. What do you reckon to the bed, Ian?
Well, that headboard is really horrible, isn't it? It's the wrong colour, it's the wrong shape, and it's the wrong wood. So we could incorporate something more circular, something with some patterns in, and make it much more pretty.
Well, the bed's the first thing you see when you come in, and it could be a real statement, so there's lots of scope for really nice soft furnishings there. Something a bit more cosy and a bit more glamorous.
The nice thing is, it is just a blank canvas. We could take all this out and start again, but we've got this really nice circular structure to work with.
Yeah, great.
Everything needs to feel it belongs. And owner Becky's second-hand bed jars against the soft lines of the tent. But Ian has an inexpensive solution to reinvent it. He's planning on creating a new headboard to complement the circular shape of the yurt. Outside, Zoe is scouting for ideas to inject some much-needed colour into the interior, helping the yurt meld into its surroundings.
I've just found these lovely damsons. They've got a really nice purpley, plummy colour to them. And there's a bit of purple on the outside of the yurt, so I'd really like to bring some of that to the inside as well.
As the team start working on transforming the yurt, Simon wants to show Becky and David how a really small space can pack a big punch. He's taken them to a tiny cabin in a cosy corner of the Wye Valley. So in tune with nature, it's impossible not to switch off here.
So Becky and David, we're down by the River Wye, just at the bottom of the valley, only 10 minutes from yours, and look at this stunning view. There's a space we're going to see that makes the most of this. It looks down over the river. We're really lucky to be able to go and see it because it's booked up every single night. I think you're going to really like it. Let's go and have a look.
Great.
Great. Our little duck friends.
So pretty.
It's not bad, is it?
Oh, it's lovely.
See, that's the wow factor I was talking about.
This little house was the original stable block of a ferryman's cottage in the 1700s. Now it's been turned into a romantic retreat for two.
And like at your place, they've used that beautiful local red stone to lead you into the stairs, and then this beautiful planting again, which frames the whole building. And they're all around the deck, this incredible screening. It's quite simple, but it goes, whoa, I'm here.
Wow.
What do you think?
Oh, wow. It's amazing.
So straight away, one of the things that's really striking is the use of colour. Strong colour can be a really, really dynamic thing in a room. Possibly a bit dark for our space, but it's really dominant. It just shows you how much impact you can get simply from the use of colour. And then over here, there's something I really want to show you. This is all you need for a kitchen. The work surface, I think, is a piece of larch and a sink in the corner, and then they've upcycled an old dresser top for all the storage shelves, and then the really beautiful handmade doors, again, upcycled old doors.
Oh, wow.
There's a fridge.
Wow, it's a fridge.
All of your kitchen taking place in a really small space. I like that idea.
Lovely. Absolutely lovely.
And I really think we could do something like this as a field kitchen. So what do you think? It's really nice, isn't it? It's not a very big room, and it's actually quite a simple bed. One of the things I love about this room, it's a really good example of basic structure and form. It's a bit like the yurt, where you can see how it's built. This is a wall where the studs are holding those nice boards, but on this side, we haven't got anything. We're looking at the stud work and it looks great. And then you've got little details like the hooks coming through. It's even used little beads of rope to seal the cracks where the boards have separated apart. And it's these little details that give a room like this its wow factor.
This old hut has been turned into a profitable holiday let. And Becky and David have a chance to meet the owner to find out how he did it.
So, Kim, what's the name of your place?
It's called the Old Summer House, which may not sound that imaginative, but I do tend to find if you're advertising something, it's best to just say what it is. It's old and it's a summer house.
Great. So, how did this all start?
So I've lived here for about 11 years, but my job is quite seasonal, and so I was looking for something that would give me income kind of steadily throughout the year. And so we decided that this would be a great way of making it work. I strongly believe in kind of reusing old materials. I'm also like an avid flea market fan, hate throwing things away. So what you see is like a collection of things that I've amassed over a long period of time and suddenly found a use for.
So how did you come up with that beautiful colour blue? Because you wouldn't think it would work.
So the colour scheme is all my partner Jackie's idea, but I have to say, kind of when I was painting that blue onto the walls, I was starting to think, are you serious? But she forced me to do it, and I'm glad she did, because it looks amazing. So we wanted it to be, you open the doors and it suddenly looked really opulent, something that's kind of got a sort of cabin feel to it. But with the colour scheme and the textures, we wanted somebody to go in and just feel really at home. So we wanted it to be a bit of a surprise.
So guys, I'm going to put you on the spot now. I want you to take a guess at how much Kim charges each night.
Well, it's really unique and different, and
150-ish?
I reckon 130.
Yeah, that's about right. We have a minimum 3-night stay, but basically we've priced it so that it lets easily. And I don't think anyone's disappointed at those prices as well.
Kim, that has been really great, really inspiring. Thank you very much for your time.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Great to see you. Good luck with your venture.
Thank you.
Back at Becky and David's yurt, the unpredictable British summer weather has announced its arrival. And Ian's bed-making plans have been driven undercover.
Okay, so this is going to be our amazing new headboard to replace the other square number. It's already started with this new semicircular design. Now, I've made myself a little jig. It's simple to make. You just get a board, attach your trimmer or your router to it, and then you can move your router around this center point, cutting into the board and making these detailed shapes. The thing about this is you've got to take your time. Because it's the headboard, because it's the bed is the first thing you see when you walk into the yurt, these swirls and patterns are really going to draw your attention.
As the day moves on, the weather doesn't improve. But Simon is optimistic, hoping Becky and David's visit to the cabin will bring fresh ideas to the yurt.
So David, it's a classic British summer scenario. We've come here, we're starting your build, and it is chucking it down with rain. And it really makes me think about this outdoor cooking area. We need it covered. And so we either got to build a building from scratch or come up with another scenario.
I think you're absolutely right. I think we might just have the thing that, we're looking for. It's just up by the house.
All right, well, let's zip our coats up. You lead on.
The kitchen at the cabin they visited shows it doesn't have to be a traditional space. And a shed David originally bought to store tools in
It's a bit bright.
Okay.
is about to get a new lease of life.
Coming out of the rain. Yeah, it's an all right space. And you'd be happy for us to use it?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Okay, so I can definitely make this into a kitchen space, but I want to change the colour, and it's absolutely chucking it down with rain. So what we need to do is get it in the tent,
Okay.
so we could give it a coat of paint.
Sure.
I get this. No, let me.
It's all hands on deck to get the shed to shelter.
Left. Right, that's all right. Great.
To you, to me.
A little bit to the right. And 1 more inches in the middle, I think. Okay, so we're going to have to let that dry off now. I think we need to go and get it dry as well.
Yeah.
Work is also progressing inside the yurt. Zoe and Becky are finding new uses for old items.
So Becky, I found this rocking chair by accident, happy accident, in a reclamation yard, which I thought might be quite nice to replace your blue plastic one outside the yurt.
Oh, it would definitely be better than the blue plastic one outside. It's lovely, really lovely.
Yeah, it's a bit more fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I thought we'd bring some plum colour in, paint it with this to match in with the shed.
Yeah, and it also matches the pattern on the outside of the yurt, I noticed.
I did notice that, and it also matches your cardigan as well.
I love upcycling. One of my favourite things to do as a pastime.
Oh, really?
And funnily enough, when I saw this chair, I was like, oh, that's like the nursing chair we upcycled because we've got our first grandchild.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And he's adorable. And we upcycled a chair like this for his nursing chair.
What's your grandson's name?
Logan. And he was born at 28 weeks and he was only 2 pounds. So he was absolutely tiny. So, yeah, he's a little miracle baby.
I had a miracle baby as well.
Did you?
Yeah, 26-weeker.
26 weeks, wow.
£1.09.
£1.09, oh, that's even smaller than Logan. They are such beautiful miracles though, aren't they?
Yeah.
So David, it has actually stopped raining, even though we're standing in a bog. But this, I think, is dry enough now to get some paint on. So we should get at it.
Yeah.
We've got some sage green that Zoe has given us. So I think we should get cracking. I think we're going to use a plum trim inspired by the plums in your garden to edge it, which would be interesting. It's got a reasonable amount of space inside this shed. And what I'm thinking is we could have the whole back wall be a little kitchen unit. I've got a dresser that I brought along, which we're going to upcycle, enlarge, running along the back with our little sink unit, hide the fridge, have the sideboard for prepping food, and then in bad weather, you've still got enough roof over you to be standing there in the dry. And if we shut the doors, you won't even notice there.
Brilliant, brilliant idea.
Inspired by the bold colour in the cabin they visited, the team planned to bring a strong colour theme to the yurt.
What we need to do is get the size of the yurts off. The strength of the yurt comes from the banding at the top. And we can take the wall off so long as we leave that on. So we'll take this off, roll around, roll the fabric around after it, and then afterwards we're going to have to reach from inside and pull it up and over the band. If we take the band off, we'll collapse the yurt.
The outside covering off, Zoe has 15 metres of material to wrap around the yurt like a giant bandage. Once the fabric's on and the cover's replaced, the fabric will be hidden from view on the outside. But on the inside, brings a rich and sumptuous colour to the room.
This makes the world of difference, doesn't it?
Already.
Instant makeover.
A rainproof makeover.
The dismal weather may have dampened the day, but not the team's enthusiasm for transforming Becky and David's yurt.
Our tents are flooded, everybody's got soaked to the skin, the tools are suffering, but we've got a little patch of blue sky. And now I'm going to try and make the use of it. These are both Leylandii stumps, and they're right next to David's fire pit. And I'm almost thinking that could be a chair. This one could be quite simple, but this one's multi-stemmed, and I'm wondering whether I can actually make some kind of a throne seat out of it using the different stems behind it.
Never happier than when he has a chainsaw in his hand and some willing wood to transform, the 2 chairs will become a feature for the fire pit. Zoe's also using natural materials to create a feature piece for inside the yurt.
Because the yurt is a circle and we're trying to bring lots of circles into the space, I thought I'd make a jute rug with, this is a nice braided jute. And I've already knotted my thread in the centre. So this bit feels quite secure now, that's not going anywhere. So I can start just coiling it round. I'm going to use the flat surface of the table to press it onto to try and keep it fairly even. And then I want to try and get these stitches through the middle so that they're not seen very much.
Jute is incredibly durable, a perfect material for withstanding the heavy footfall the yurt will get.
So natural materials are really popular at the moment in things like this and macrame and other things that you can do at home. So I think this is probably going to end up looking like a giant 80s coaster.
Keeping with the upcycling, Simon's using an old dresser to create the field kitchen inside the shed. And he needs Ian's help to make it fit.
Well, it's quite shallow, so we're going to have to do something about the depth to incorporate the fridge, which probably means we have to make a much wider worktop surface. And maybe we can use something from elsewhere.
These might be usable to extend that.
Yeah, they're going to have to come out anyway.
And then we've got to work out how the fridge is going to go in, and straight away I'm looking at that lip. That's going to get in the way.
We may even have to take off the base of it.
So let's chop her off at the minimum height to get her in, and then we'll turn it into a dresser.
Good plan.
Becky and David's dream is to turn their yurt into a beautiful retreat from the rat race. The words tent and luxury aren't natural bedfellows, but in Hereford, Sarah and her husband Jeremy took their yurt to another level.
We moved to this farm about 8 years ago now, and on one of the first occasions that we walked around, we came through this gateway at the top of the orchard and saw the amazing view there. It was just the thought that, you know, we need to share this with people, really.
The couple had an old Mongolian yurt, which they hadn't used for years. When they bought the farm in Hereford, they saw the perfect opportunity to turn the yurt into a business.
We put the yurt here really because of the view, but also surrounding it is this piece of ancient woodland that really provides protection for it. And so it can be blowing a gale, and actually when you're in the yurt it's really cosy and fine.
The selling point of the yurt was the history behind it.
It was made in Mongolia, very beautifully painted in the Mongolian style. And when we first had it, it was tied together with horsehair. But by the time we got here, it was becoming a bit weather-beaten. So we had a local lady who makes yurts and teepees refurbish it and make a new canvas. There was a new floor put down. We had to create a decking area and the compost loo up in the woods. And that took several months, actually. These painted parts here are the original Mongolian painting of the yurt, and we've had to replace a few.
The use of natural materials, along with soft colours, create a calming countryside feel, a romantic hideaway surrounded by nature.
We've had a number who have become engaged up here, which is lovely. They've written us very sweet messages in the book. The whole interior of the yurt is set up for romance, really. I think this is probably our guests' most favourite part of the yurt, the double-ended bath. Then we have various organic oils and everything to go in it. It's just lovely if you can sit in the bath with the fire going, the rain coming down on the top of the yurt. It's just a very pleasant thing to do. So the bed was made by the same man who created the decking area around the yurt, handcrafted in oak. He's used these natural curves, which we really liked, and the tree trunk edges. It's really lovely lying in bed and to see the stars through here, or the rain as it is today. And in the summer, in fact, you can take the star off here, so the plastic part comes off, and you just open to the sky, which is fab. We had travelled quite a bit before coming here. We've been very lucky in the places that we've been all around the world, and I think we took really inspiration from different places we'd been. We've attempted to keep the space as clear as possible as well, because I didn't want to have it cluttered. You know, if you're in a cluttered space, it's not as relaxing. I think what's important is the attention to the small details, really. I mean, obviously you have to have all the amenities and facilities there, but I think what people really appreciate is things like the ribbons and flowers on the towels or the very lovely chocolates. We provide a locally made carrot cake, which is very popular, and also fresh bread. When they're in season, we give guests fresh vegetables from our garden and eggs from our chickens. I think that just makes a nice touch. Right from the beginning, actually, we have had consistent and regular bookings. We've had quite a few people returning. I think they like the peace and the solitude, really. It's on its own, it has its own space. As to the price, it's between £100 and £150 a night, depending on the time of year. I think what's unique about our space is where it's situated and the fact that it's a pretty much untouched natural environment, which means that we are home to a lot of wildlife here.
Back at Becky and David's yurt,
Swing round.
Little twist.
the cabinet for the field kitchen is now ready.
Now that it's in place, it's really good that it's tight to that back wall because it gives us all this working space.
So this is going to be out here.
I would so put an extra bit on the back of this shed.
So what you're suggesting is we extend a hole for the fridge.
I think
quite like that.
If we cut something out the back of here and make a sort of mini shed at the back, and then this is even more discreet.
The sun brings a breather, a chance to work back outside.
I've had an idea to make some sphere lights using willow for the bedside lights inside the yurt. So I'm just trying to bend this willow, which I've soaked, to try and make it a bit more flexible. But this end is quite hard and a bit brittle, so it snaps quite easily. So it's a bit of a fiddle, but I'm going to try and make some nice circles. So I'm pushing my thumbs together quite hard to bend the stick, but I don't want to snap it all the way through. So now I'm just trying to weave the thin end around. It just takes a bit of practice and a bit of patience. So I'm putting these together now. I'm going to use wire and I'm going to try and arrange them as evenly as I can. Once I've got these two secure, I'll just keep adding the rest until I've run out.
With Simon's wooden chairs now sculpted, he's keen to turn the area into a cosy nook.
So David, as you can see, I've been busy grinding off these tree stumps. I've also peeled the bark off, so you've got this really nice stump flowing into the ground. If we pressure wash that later when we're finished, it will come out really, really well. What I want to talk to you about is a fire pit. And it's right close to the yurt, so it's definitely going to be somewhere people are going to spend time. And what I'd like you to do, if you're up for it, is dig out a circle to 8 inches. So we've got a nice level starting point, and then we'll get all the stone we've got and see what we can create afterwards.
OK, that sounds really great.
Having a cosy fire pit will increase the rental potential of the yurt. A warm and romantic area for a late-night chill. And Zoe's unusual inside lighting will also give the yurt some character.
Do you need a hand?
Yes, please. I could probably do with another circle or two.
It's a therapeutic but time-consuming process.
It is quite hard to make a perfect circle out of a
It's impossible.
straight stick.
It's impossible. You have to surrender to imperfection.
Yeah. Right, that's my best attempt, I think.
Awesome. Hopefully, it will fit in there.
Oh, look at that.
It's almost like you measured it.
That's complete luck. I might let you finish that. I've got other things to get on with, but
All
they
right.
look great. Well
Thank
done.
you.
As the afternoon draws on, the weather turns again. And Simon draws the short straw to be outside, cutting the hole in the back of the shed for the fridge to fit into.
So it's going to be there.
Yep.
Let's check that.
We're going to make a little mini micro shed bottom, stick out here and cover this end of the fridge. And it will all be waterproof and angles, so that will protect this back. It's a shed with a booty.
I'm going to make a centrepiece to hang from the ceiling so that when you're lying in bed in the yurt, you've got something nice to look up at. And I've made a circle out of this willow, which I'm going to attach these beads onto. To make them a little bit more interesting, I've stained these ones with tea, and I've painted some in some of the colours that we're trying to bring into the yurt. I found some really nice copper wire. I'll start off with just one small bead, thread it on, and then I'm just going to twist the wire around itself so the bottom one's not going to fall off. Another nice thing about these beads is that because they're round, it keeps in with our theme of circles and spheres in here really nicely. So here's one string of beads ready to go. Quite happy with that. I think I'm going to put this one about there. Okay, so now I've got one swag. I can adjust the shaping of that a bit afterwards. And let's just wrap it around and squeeze it with my pliers. So I think this one probably needs a few more, but it's not an exact science, so you can just put on as few or as many as you like and keep going until you're happy with how it looks.
Rain and yet more rain. Time for the team to regroup.
Just keeps coming.
You just have a moment and then you think you're okay, and then it...
There was a patch of blue sky for about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
You're all right, because you're in the yurt. Is it dry in there?
Yeah.
My boots are soaked through. I've resorted to the wellies.
We're a bit behind.
We couldn't avoid it, you know. We had to dip in and out of the rain all day long.
David's digging in the mud over there still. So I know it's been a struggle, but we are actually going to get there. Look, I told you, that's sun. That's sun, isn't it?
On cue. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. We should go and use it.
David's heroically soldiered through the rain to finish the fire pit. And Simon's found some stones from the garden to line it.
So we've got a really fat one here. Now, can I get that one in?
It's quite nice watching somebody else work.
That's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah, we'll go with that. Blue sky, look. Can you believe it?
Makes a change.
The yurt needs storage for guests to put their clothes. And Zoe's upcycling some old crates. Cheap and effective, they blend in with the wooden lattice behind them.
Just figuring out how I want to put them.
It's good to go higgledy-piggledy, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That was going to be too tall.
That one could almost go. Like that.
We swapped that one for that one because I turned the one with the shelf on its side.
Does that look good?
Yeah, except we've got a white stripe and a brown stripe.
Ooh, does that bother you?
Yeah, I want to mix them up a bit.
Where's the white stripe? Oh, yeah, we have, haven't we? You want to mix them up. Okay,
mix them up.
Let's mix them up. How about swap it around the other way?
That's a bit more like it.
Oh, that.
Is that like a work of art?
That is a work of art. Do you want to screw them together, or do you want me to do it?
Happy to delegate. Plenty of other things to do.
Right, I'll screw it to the floor as well, and then it can't fall over.
Brilliant, thank you.
Ian's bedhead is finished.
Have a little
Looking
look.
really good.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
It's the attention grabber Simon wanted.
The gold looks like the ribs on the circle of the yurt. Really nice.
I think it's going to really draw your eye as you walk into the yurt.
A trim to the angular bedposts, and the bedhead can be attached.
Slightly that way, slightly that way. So the line of the hub, bang down through the centre line of the headboard, right in the middle of a gap. I think that's perfect. Mate, it looks great.
With Becky and David now gone from the site, the team makes the final push of transforming the yurt. Just 2 weeks ago, a bland brown yurt stood at the bottom of Becky and David's garden. A confused mishmash of furniture and design. Devoid of character and lacking in confidence. But with clever use of cosy colours, a tiny budget and some creative ideas, the uninspiring yurt has blossomed into a unique retreat.
So come on in.
Oh my word.
It looks really different, doesn't it?
It's amazing.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
The colour scheme has just changed everything. And the most dramatic immediate effect is just running this amazing burgundy colour around the outside.
Yeah.
It just picks out the lattice work of the yurt so strongly.
For me, as soon as I come in the door, I see that headboard, you know, it's quite stunning.
It absolutely works, and it really matches and brings out, I think, the gold of the wood. Really, really nice.
And I love the branch with the dressing gown. I mean,
Yeah.
that's such a unique idea.
It's so
That is
simple as well,
So
isn't it?
simple, but so effective.
One of the biggest surprises for me is that sofa, because do you remember what it used to look like?
Yeah.
I thought
Lime
that,
green.
I thought that was a chucker outer, but dressed in this beautiful throw, it actually looks like a really enchanting little love seat.
does. So nice.
And in fact, somebody's utilising the rug that she made as well.
I think it hits the nail on the head.
Brilliant.
Outside the yurt, the team have made the space have purpose. Each area has a defined role.
Oh, that looks really lovely.
So these are obviously the carved seats that we created out of your Leylandii stumps. This one, I think it looks like a little miniature hand, actually, and is holding up a little drinks table.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
So lovely.
And David, that's our fire pit. All that hard work came good. Are you pleased with it?
Lovely.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, that's really, really good. Love it.
Well, do you know, all that rain did an amazing job of distressing our outdoor kitchen. So we've got this beautiful weathered effect on the shed. I don't think you'd be able to recreate that if you tried.
That's so lovely.
Do you remember what these are?
I think with the feet of the dresser.
Yeah. Which we've upcycled to become these doorknobs. And here we go. If you hold that open for me.
Wow.
This is your outdoor kitchen space.
It's lovely.
You know, with all that rain earlier, it really proves how important this place is going to be.
Absolutely.
But I'm really sorry we didn't manage to fit the fridge in.
Oh.
Oh.
No, I'm only joking. Look. So, what we had to do though was to create
So clever.
a space behind, well, a derriere, if you will, which the fridge sits in, so that we've got the space to still be standing inside.
That is so clever.
That's really good.
And then we've got
I
your
love
Belfast
this
sink, which is
sink.
just fed by the water tank header, supplied by the water butt. We've taken a shed which wasn't really being used and given it a whole new lease of life.
Lovely.
And then, do you recognise that?
Oh, wow. It looks lovely.
All that hard work with Zoe. I think that looks great out here. All that colour flows through from the yurt.
It's so much better than
Yeah.
the blue plastic chair.
I'm glad you said that. Well, it really is a transformed space. I hope you're pleased.
Really
Yeah,
pleased.
very.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
And obviously with a space like this, the name is going to be very important. It's what people are going to know you by. And I'm wondering if you've come up with a name.
Well, we wanted it to be really simple, so we wanted to call it the Yurt.
That's a good name.
Yeah.
And I guess what I want to know is how much are you going to charge per night?
Well, we thought about maybe starting £90 a night and see the interest, and depends on the season, and just see how it goes with that when we first start.
I think that's a really good way of approaching it and a good price to start with. It's a really unique space. I've not seen many yurts that have such a wow factor
No,
inside.
me neither.
Obviously, I want to thank Zoe and Ian, because I think they've done a really amazing job.
Brilliant.
And it's been a great pleasure working with you guys, and I wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
So I'm really pleased with the transformation we've managed to pull off here. When we first came, the yurt was a little bit dull and boring, but we've managed to create an incredible atmosphere. It's tranquil, it's relaxing, and it's got a really special appeal. And that's despite the incredible weather. At times I wasn't sure we were even going to finish, but look at it now. Sunny, English weather.
It's exactly what we were looking for.
Yeah.
I think the guests will have the same reaction as we did, you know, when we walked in and got that real wow factor.
Yeah, maybe we ought to be the first guests.
Yeah, maybe we did. Try it out.
Join us next time
Can I come have a look inside?
Please do, yeah.
as Simon and his team
1, 2, 3, 4.
help to transform more unusual spaces
Oh.
in beautiful places into truly unique B&Bs.
Gorgeous, I love it.